morning, and welcome to the Morning DNA for October 26th, 2020. I am Aaron Deister, the man of a single black shirt. She is Danae Hughes, the woman of a million distractions, and we're here to find out what this day, this morning, is made of. You all right, Danae? Is your mic going to fall down?
First of all, I let you get the whole thing and did not interrupt you for the first time since we started the show.
I believe that is correct. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that is a first. You have all bore witness to the amazingness.
I thank you. Second, I'm a little bit afraid my daughter came into my recording closet and messed with my settings. So if I'm like really loud or really soft, will you let me know?
Okay, so to me, you sound pretty normal, maybe a little soft, but
I'm talking softer because I think she messed with my headphones, so it's louder in my headphones. Do you know what I mean?
I see. I see.
I maybe made a really bad decision in putting my board for all of the recording equipment literally at her eye level.
Yeah.
I mean,
or not keeping the door closed, or setting her in front of it and saying, "Here, play." You know, that was probably the biggest mistake you made.
Right.
Was, look at this toy in here. Look at all the knobs and buttons.
Touch everything over here. Okay, then the other thing I have to tell you is that I currently have been looking for things. I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. And so I went off of where we stream. I can't find I can't find my way back.
Wait, so you can't find your way back to see the show? Like as we're doing it, like the broadcast studio?
No, like right now I'm looking at images from what I was going to tell you about.
Oh,
but anyway.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Are they images? Are they images of my possible shirt that I'm going to be wearing for 5 mornings in a row on the Morning DNA?
But are we still taking submissions? Because there was a question about that. Like, I want to get my submission in. So can we take submissions for another week?
Sure. You want a whole nother week? I was thinking we give people an extra day. Like we could say, okay, today's the last day.
Today's the last day. Okay.
Like do it now. If you're going to do it now. That's what I was thinking. But hey, if you want a week, a month, a year, I'll just keep wearing my black shirt as long as you want, Danae.
It's no problem for you.
That's right. I'm good. They're saying you sound normal.
Okay, good.
In the chat.
Hey, thanks, guys.
JCD says Danae sounds extra Danae today, though that is not a problem. So,
do I? Extra Danae. I love how people think like it's the coffee. This is just how I am, guys.
It is true.
But
it is true.
I also, I'm back. I'm looking for a new mic mount because this is starting to make me nuts.
Yeah,
like it was fine when we were like, oh, let's just start the show. Let's just see what happens. But now that we're doing this regularly, consistently, I hate it, number one. And then also, guys, I have a new camera.
Yeah, looks good.
You can see me clearer, which may or may not make me nervous. I kind of liked the fuzzy filter.
Sure. Yeah, a little bit of diffusion to the filter, a little bit of that beauty glow.
I could just like lick my thumb and then just smear it.
Well, you're better off, I think, maybe eating a piece of pizza and then smearing, like the grease is going to give you a much better diffused look.
Did you know this is a thing that my husband does? I have like an itch in the back.
What, eats pizza and then puts his finger over cameras?
Second half of that. Well, except for it's not pizza.
All right, fair enough.
His sister always trolls him about the pictures he takes because they're kind of either out of focus or his phone is like a work phone. So it's constantly got a layer of just crud over it. Okay. And he doesn't think to clear the thing. So his sister always gives him crap. So now he started doing it on purpose. And the other day I made like this tater tot casserole and it had, just grease and stuff in it. And he was taking a picture of Iris to send to his sister. He just dipped his finger in the grease and put it on his camera on purpose, snapped a photo that was so disgusting looking, and then sent it to her just to troll her. This is like they're doing this thing. It's a real thing. Look at your face.
Well, what? I'm just trying to think, like, what is...
Your face.
What is the troll involved there? Here, look at this awful picture I took. I don't understand. Like, to each their own relationship. Have fun with people the way you have fun with people. So
she wants him to have a really nice, crisp, clear photo, and he continues to just post them. He's like, "Who cares? Who cares if it's a little bit fuzzy?" But she trolled, like she gets it. So now he's just sending it on purpose. Anyway, it's pretty gross though. Whenever he was like smearing grease across it. Ugh.
Good. That's good stuff.
Good stuff. Anyway.
Before we get into the show, a huge thank you to our Team DNA members. We talked a little bit about the shirt. That will be happening at some point. You will be picking the shirt for me to wear for 5 days. We are humbled and always amazed that there are people who love this enough to hang out with us in the mornings and are like, hey, have $5 a month. And so it's just one level to be Team DNA. It's $5 every month, and it supports what we do here. The new camera that Danae's talking about, the lighting, the show, the ability to stream, all that comes from you.
This light. Thank you.
So we really do appreciate it.
You'll help me get pencils. That's not true. That part's not true. I will. I have a pencil addiction.
We appreciate you and would let you know if you want to check that out, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/StudioDNA, which you can see over my right shoulder, the Studio DNA. That is...
I need to get something in here.
Patreon.com/StudioDNA. We appreciate it. You ready to shoot a dough?
Ready!
All right. Let's do it. Now, we kick off our Monday show with the FAQs. That does not stand for frequently asked questions. It stands for Friendship Application Questionnaire, because Danae designed this to see if you can be her friend. So feel free to answer.
I designed it many, many years ago, working bored out of my mind.
Sure.
And I found it.
I just want people to know that we're taking this very seriously, and we are keeping track of your answers, and you will or will not be Danae's friend, depending on what you answer. So
I'm excited because we've been asked to, after we do all of the questions, actually post it online. And I'm kind of excited to just, like a Google form, make it seem real serious, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have that on the DNA website. For sure we should.
Okay.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
All right. Here's question. The next question for today. Are you guys ready? If you had a large rubber ball in your hands, where would you not throw it?
Okay.
A, at the moon. B, off a bridge over the interstate. I'm going to tell on myself here and tell you that I spelled the word off, O-F.
You sure it wasn't of the interstate?
Of the interstate.
You wouldn't throw it of the interstate. You know? I know. Okay.
I think that was a spelling error.
Also... I will need clarification on that choice here in a second, but go ahead and continue the choices.
Of course. Okay. Into a light fixture, or at your grandma's sister's daughter's brother's friend named Jahim.
Well, clarification on the interstate. Are you saying you're throwing it just from a car into like the median, or like off the interstate that way? Or it
says off a bridge over the interstate.
Over the interstate.
Like you go on those bridges that go over the interstate and you chuck a ball.
Where did you misspell off then?
The very first word, Aaron. It literally says of a bridge over the interstate.
Got it. Of a bridge over the interstate. Okay, so that's dangerous. I'm not going to pick that one. I don't want to cause interstate accidents. I'm not going to throw it at someone. So my grandma's sister's brother's mother's second cousin's friend named
Aaron,
Jahim.
I just want to remind you that the question is, where would you not throw it?
Well,
it's not where are you going to throw it.
Okay.
It's where are you not throwing it?
Cool. Then all of the above. Was that a choice?
Yeah, the question's tricky, guys. It is, if you had a large rubber ball in your hands, where would you not throw it?
Yeah. Scott says the interstate one because that's littering and also unsafe.
Right, so you wouldn't
Nick
throw it
has a clarifying question. How big is this rubber ball?
Okay, so according to this question that I don't remember writing at all, if you had a large rubber ball in your hands, so it's got to be big enough for two hands. Yeah.
Wow.
Hands plural.
All right.
I mean, these important questions, guys.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the first times that a question may actually give you a glimpse into a personality, too. Like the rest of them seem a bit silly, right? We've asked about which came first, eggs, spuds, chickens, or Oreos. Like, would you make like a sea turtle and a werewolf battle have been part of it? Where would you swim in the ocean if your boat was in trouble? Would you hunt for space monkeys? Like, these are the things that are, but this one is different. This one seems to be more like, what kind of a person are you? But it's also, where are you not throwing it? So does that indicate that you would throw it on the other ones? I don't know.
No, I think we can safely say you're just picking one of the choices you would not throw it at. It
Would
does
you
not mean you
not?
are going to throw it at the others. And really, at the end of the day, that's what makes this a really bad question.
It's a
just
horrible
very
question.
poorly formed.
Oh my gosh. All of
But
these questions are terrible. And I think I did that on purpose just to make it silly.
so Test 417 says the moon. It never did nothing to me.
Never did nothing.
So it's fair enough. Interstate Archimedes Amazonas says I would not throw it up. That's a good choice.
I like Doc's answer. The thing is, you bring up all these things, and now I want to throw the ball to all these things, places, and people.
Yeah. I would be careful with those personality traits, Doc. I would keep those in check as much as you can. That idea of as soon as something's brought up, you just want to do it. I know some of us are built like that, and I totally get it. Danae is one of those people.
Yeah.
It just may be best practices life pursuit for you to manage that feeling, because not everything needs to be done.
Yeah. I think Interstate's winning. I think everybody is right. There is so many conversations about that happening in chats across platforms.
Dumb as an Ox says, when I throw the large ball, do I also let go off it?
Nice slam. I see what you did there.
But also, yes, that's what throw means.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is an easily answerable question. Skadorva says, I would not throw it unless the dogs wanted to play.
Great answer.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
But there's no write-in option for this one, right? Like there's no short answer.
Sorry. In fact, that would immediately eliminate you from being Danae's friend. That's how this questionnaire works.
This is serious.
If you break the question rules,
okay.
I'm very sorry.
All right, Aaron, how are you answering this one? If you had a larger boat, where will you not throw it?
I'm going to pick the Interstate because it's my strongest. Definitely not doing that.
Okay.
Although there are a couple others I wouldn't do as well.
Right.
So
second, probably the people.
Probably the
then
people.
the light fixture, then the moon, I'm guessing.
The moon would be the one where I'd be like, okay, I don't think I'm going to destroy the moon. So depending on the direction of the moon and what might be in the moon's
It's hard because it's not where will you throw it. It is where will you not. It's crazy. Anyway.
Wally asks a great question in all caps. Why does Danae hate dogs? Like it's...
What?
Solid question. Because you didn't include a dog answer. I mean, obviously, ergo,
I love dogs.
You don't like
How
dogs.
dare you? How dare you, Lolly?
Thank you, Danae, for another trip through the FAQ. Ready for some DNA and you?
Let's do it.
All right. We are going to each have a topic. Oh. The three of us, if you will.
Oh.
D is Danae, A is Aaron, and U is you. I felt very Blue's Clues there. Like I felt very much like early, like morning kids show. Like, and the third question comes from you.
That's right, kids.
That's right.
And all you have to do is write the U in front of your question.
Yes, if you want Aaron and Danae to answer your question, I can't keep it up. Yeah, just put a U at the front of it, and we will definitely.
No. Hey guys, listen. Caleb from the road, listen. My silence on dogs speaks volumes. We're going on with the show. I don't have time to go into my love of dogs. Otherwise, we'll talk about it all day long.
Listen, say what you will, but I think we've already settled this matter, Danae, and it's not. It's not
I feel
good.
Betrayed.
It's not good.
I love dogs.
Danae, why don't you kick us off with your topic for the morning? Let us know. What are we going to talk about?
So what is your sure sign of a season change? I'm thinking about fall specifically, but any will do. I know that not everybody is in the U.S. Not a normal change, like sure the leaves change, but something more personal than that is kind of what I'm going for. Okay. So for us, it's the first time in our new house, our heater kicked on yesterday.
That's always where I go. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's always the first morning I wake up with just like, heater, like with that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. My poor daughter, this is her first time, I think, like having a heater kick on, especially in this house. Obviously the heaters kicked on in our previous houses, but maybe she didn't get stuffed up.
Or you're just getting your ofs and your offs. It's stuffed up, stuffed up, whatever.
I talk for a living. Yay. I need to start over again. I
Go
just
ahead.
woke up. That's
Yeah.
my problem.
Mhm.
Anyway, so she's all stuffed up. Yesterday, she asked me. She says, "Mommy, why do I cough so much right now?" So she's trying to figure out what's going on with her body.
Yeah.
And I think at the new house, it's also difficult because this is probably really, this is not scientific. This is Danae thinking, probably shouldn't even share this. It's embarrassing. It's not our heater. We haven't lived here. It's somebody else's heater. This is like their years of stuff. This isn't our years of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
This is their dead skin cells choking my throat at night, not my own dead skin cells.
No, 100%. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that's why it's so different this year for Iris. Is she's like,
Hey, Justin, do you taste the previous owners this morning? I taste the previous owners of our home this morning. It's a really pleasant thought, Danae.
so gross. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just what I was thinking. Anyway, she's really, really reacting this year. I'm not. Justin's not. But Iris is still 3. So I think her body still has to develop the whole system that it takes to keep us all safe. But she is so, so miserable.
So I want to go through some of the choices in the chat because these are great examples of how you know when like seasons change, specifically fall. I think let's keep it on fall, Danae. Let's keep it on fall. We can do that. Lolly says to get your ducks clean, and I wanted to mention that ducks with a T, not ducks. DUCKS. Just if you have some ducks to clean, you could do that too. But I actually on our counter. Thank you.
Hey, look, I've got a weird filter now. That's awesome.
Your autofocus just adjusted incorrectly. Yeah.
You just keep talking. Don't let me embarrass or distract you. Embarrass you either.
Anyhow, after I remembered the word counters, on our counter upstairs is there you go. Go away. Okay, there you got it. On our counters upstairs, we actually have a quote to get our ducks clean. And
really?
Let me just tell you.
Is it expensive?
It ain't cheap.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, expensive enough that we're like, hey, we'll taste our previous residents' dead skin cells. Like that. I'll take that over paying that kind of money. So yeah, I definitely would encourage you if you want to check it out. But man, I just don't think it's worth it. I really just don't think it's worth it.
I don't know.
The money that they charge.
You know how your body just it'll adjust. My body will adjust. Iris's body will adjust. Maybe by the next year or so.
That's what makes
it won't
tough.
be as big of a deal. And I saw a comment pop up like sounds like allergies. It really could be, but she's not having an allergic reaction where she's sneezing a lot. It's more like the heater went on, and within a couple of hours, she was like, "Okay." And so it's the first time that our house has been flooded with this heating system. So I'm just thinking, I like this comment from Matt.
Sure.
Sorry, we both went for a comment. Fun thing about getting your ducts cleaned, it's the most expensive thing you'll pay for that you'll never be able to physically see the result of.
It's true. It's true. That's why we decided not to.
Those little cameras that can snake through stuff.
Sure. And I have a sneaking suspicion. I just have a sneaking suspicion it won't make that much of a difference. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where part of it is just the heat. It's just the hot air does things to our sinuses and different things. And also dust continues to, shed from our bodies. So
shed. Shed.
Or
does that make you guys feel really disgusting?
Or whatever, off of our skin continues to happen. Let's look at some of your choices. Husband's achy shoulder, says Lollipop. An old American football injury that gets sore when the weather goes cold.
That really
Lots of people have
happens.
those weather injuries. I've actually noticed some pain in my knee when fronts come through. So I'm starting to get the old guy stuff, Danae. It's like it's happening. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's so fun.
It's like a superpower of pain, which is not cool.
Hey, it's just a little bit of pain. Every time it happens, I look to my wife and I say, rains are coming.
Ranger coming, darling.
I think you have to do that. Nick says, definitely when I either no longer have to start wearing a jacket to go outside. Doesn't work everywhere in the world. Some places have pretty temperate, consistent climates. But yeah, if you live in a place with seasons, the jacket weather could be a good sign.
Scott says, late spring, I can't breathe. Early fall, I can't breathe. It's a great sign.
You may need to learn to breathe.
It was in
Just
the
a suggestion.
was it like in the mid 40s yesterday? Overcast. I actually put
It's raining and overcast this morning.
today.
Yeah.
It's raining. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with her being all stopped up, I thought maybe we should just go outside and try to breathe some good air, like try to like get something fresh. So we went outside for like 26 seconds, and then she was like, "I want to go back inside."
Yeah.
So
Don't blame you. Don't blame you. This is hilarious. Slab says, the previous owners have a mesquite flavor to them.
they must have liked to barbecue.
Yeah. Boy, they really
nice.
did like the sour cream and onion chips. I can tell. That's amazing. That's great. Have you ever heard of filters in the vents?
We have filters.
In your vents, like specific vent filters?
But over specific parts of vents, but I don't know if it's what you're talking about, Louisa. I think that's how you say your name, 22. We actually have someone that comes out to the house to replace all of our filters and make sure that we're like doing everything we need to be doing. So, but it does make me wonder if I want to set up those like set systems of like in between. Just if only there were tiny little gnomes that could just go into your vents and set stuff up for you.
They're on the way. Micro technologies are coming, and it may be a while, but nanobots will save us all from everything eventually.
And nanobots. I discounted science. That was going total fantasy.
Alex says, "Hi, Aaron and Danae. First time catching you live. Been enjoying the podcast format at work. Welcome to the live show, Alex. Glad you're able to hang out with us this morning.
We have a good time. So we have like a cross-platform conversation happening. So wherever you're watching, I think I saw you're on YouTube. If you comment, somebody else over on Twitch or even Twitter or Facebook might comment. So thanks for being a part of the conversation and for joining us live. Yeah. That's so cool."
Sarcastic Honey Badger says, "In Arizona, we don't have seasons, just degrees of heat."
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too bad to me. My wife and I were just talking the other day, like, we're never moving. Like, we don't ever want to move from here. We love this house. We love this area. But every winter, there's this thing where, some places it actually doesn't ever get below 60.
I thought about that too.
It's like, and again, another old guy thing happening. Like, let's move further south to a temperate climate.
Yeah. The only thing, there's a couple of reasons that I wouldn't. The amount of sunscreen I would have to apply every day, unless I just never left the house.
Sure.
But Archimedes says, "I live in a place where seasons do not properly exist. Either it's dry summer or rainy summer. The quote unquote seasonal changes are noticed only on how not too hot it is during the night. It's weird here." I forget hey, Archimedes, I forget where you are in the world. If you want to share it. That's really interesting.
Brazil. I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Brazil.
Well, actually, the opposite. It's warm and muggy.
Rad.
But
I mean,
northeastern Brazil, to be specific, Archimedes Amazonius says.
So cool.
Or Amazonas says.
Like in the cool way.
Scott says, "I love living in a temperate forest area, but if I did move, I'd want to move to San Diego." 100%. SoCal is like, if you're just going by climate, SoCal is my dream.
Really?
Year round. Mid 70s, or Hawaii. Hawaii is a lot like that too. Any of those like warmer ocean front kind of places where you get the breeze, like the nice cool air off the ocean, but it's still the sun keeps it warm. Man, yeah, that's perfect stuff. Why did you, Danae? Why?
Because
why would
it's a vent filter
I know it's
pack.
an Amazon link to filters. I get
really
it.
Funny.
I understand. Nobody could use that if you
I
put
know,
it on the show. Nobody who's
so
listening to
funny.
this podcast later is going to understand that
I
at
love
all.
that. We should just like he or she just linked us to an Amazon filter pack, and it's just like a wall of text, and I think that's just really funny.
It's a buy link, is what it is.
There's a conversation about Arizona snowbirds,
sure.
Which I guess we would be because we are so like fair skin, I guess.
Well, no, snowbirds mean somebody who for the winter goes migrates south.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
that's
a
cool.
snowbird is like, oh, it's going to snow where I usually live. Let's go live in Florida for the summer. Let's go live in Arizona for the summer. So those temperate climates do have populations that move there for like 3 or 4 months every summer.
That makes more sense. I was thinking like I would be like the swan of Arizona. Which is not a snowbird. Okay. Alex adds, up here in Canada, we have 2 seasons, winter in construction.
Mm-hmm. I made that joke in Michigan all the time because it's so true.
Well, I bet the winter just tears up the roads,
Yep.
It's got to be awful. I
Mhm.
hate potholes. I think I would not enjoy living in the winter climates.
There are about 3 months where the North is the most glorious place to live. For the months of June, July, and August, it is absolutely glorious in Michigan, in Canada, in some of those, Minnesota, some of those northern places. The other 9 months of the year, it's either livable or just absolute, disaster trauma, cold weather, destroying roads,
I'm sorry,
sliding all over the place.
See, someone else thought it was really funny too. I'm just.
How do you know they weren't laughing at something else? Huh? You don't know.
I get to make that choice.
Yes, you do. And I'm pretty sure they were laughing at the wall text.
Steven says, in New Mexico, you can just wait 5 minutes and get a new weather condition. I will say that's also true kind of for this area too.
It's actually, we were just talking about this the other day. Almost every state says that. Everywhere I've ever lived says that. Michigan say that. Hey, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Hey, it's 70 on Monday and 30 on Tuesday. Welcome to Michigan. Danae, okay. I got you. Does it get funnier? I don't know.
Did you see the note that I put up? Slab said, wait, put it back up. I need a minute to type out the link. I'm just helping.
You are. Absolutely. Very nice. We appreciate all the interaction on how you know that it's fall. Zalius, stop encouraging her. I feel like at this point, I'm the parent that's like, stop encouraging the children.
Oh my goodness.
Can we move on to the A topic? Not nearly as interesting, I'm sure.
No. It's your turn.
So the question is, when's the time you were late to something important? So maybe a particular story, something you should have gone to, should have been to on time, whatever the case may be. The reason I ask is this morning, and this is going to be funny and news to Danae. This morning, with about 30 seconds to showtime, I show up to do the show, ready to be like, I'm sorry, I'm late. I got this thing, and Danae wasn't here yet. So
I was, but I ran into the other room to grab something before clicking the link. You sent me the link at 9:00.
Yes, exactly. So anyhow, it got me thinking about, first I was thinking, what kind of person are you? Are you generally late to things? Are you generally early to things? Are you a wizard and you arrive precisely when you mean to? What is your general, life thing? And I'm totally in the wizard mindset. Sometimes, I need to be a little bit late. Sometimes I need to be right on time. Sometimes I need to be 10 minutes early. What do I shoot for? 10 minutes early. That's what I shoot for. Generally, almost everything I say 10 minutes early. Let me be there, ready to go, just to make sure, things.
Unless it's the airport, then you go even earlier, in my opinion.
Well, the question with the airport is what is early and what is late. They tell you to be there 90 minutes, ahead of your boarding time or whatever, which is plenty of time. So, especially at a smaller airport like we have here. But anyhow, remember airports?
In the before times. There are these things called airports.
It got me thinking about those times in life when you're, late to something that is important. Like, for instance, doing a morning show that you've committed to do every Monday. This was my own fault. We had a dishwasher issue where we had a repair that needed to be done.
A dishue.
Thank you, Danae. Nicely done.
Hey.
That was Portman totally awesome.
Oh my God, that's so cool that you did that.
So anyhow, when they were like, when do you want to have the guy come over to fix the dishwasher? And they were like, how does 8 to noon on Monday morning sound? And I was like, sure, come first thing Monday. Forgetting that Monday we hop on at 9:00 and do a morning show, a live morning show. What am I supposed to do? So this whole morning, I'm like, fingers crossed I'm first on the list. Please come here first. I get a call 8:30. And he's like, I'm on my way. I'm like, how far out are you? He's like, 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. And so he gets here at 10 till. I'm like, hey, interesting question. If I were unavailable for the next hour, are you good to go? He's like, yeah. He's like, actually, this is a really easy one. It'll take me 5 minutes. You don't even need to sign anything. I'll be in and out and that kind of thing. So I just came down here and left the dishwasher guy to do his thing.
He's roaming your house right now?
No, I think he's gone.
Turn on your cameras. Let's watch him.
All right, let me see. Let me see if he's still in there. I doubt he is.
Are you really going to check?
Sure, why not?
So great.
You told me to. You can click through some comments of, possibly
Okay, here's a
other.
comment
Mhm.
that you'll like.
Thanks. Yep.
I just wanted to.
For those playing the at-home version of the game, Danae put up the filter link
I
again.
think they knew exactly what I did. Same person. Oh, here's the one I actually meant to do. From Weezer22 says, I was late to a funeral once. It was a bad day all around, really.
Yeah,
Aw.
that's not a good time.
That feels awkward, I'm sure. Sometimes they can't be avoided though. Like you're late for various reasons that are outside of your control.
Yeah.
Oh, slap. Late to
gone.
last week's show.
The kitchen is empty.
Guys, there is his live kitchen.
So
quick. Tape the camera to your monitor camera down here and run upstairs and prove to us that it's live, and then come running back downstairs.
No, not doing that.
I tried. Nick says, had to chase the school bus with my kids a couple weeks ago.
That's fun. Did they stop? I always wonder what they're supposed to do as drivers. I feel like they really shouldn't stop, right? They should
I've
keep
been
going.
noticing that more in movies that I've been watching. That someone chases down a bus and
in
they
movies,
stop.
yeah, they chase down buses and hit on the window, and it's a movie thing.
JCD says, I was in marching band. If you're early, you're on time, and if you're on time, you're late. Yeah.
Yep.
That, I was just thinking of the school bus time. When we were in high school, I was in choir and we were going to a competition. And so you had to be there at a certain time to get on the bus. And somebody was late. And technically, I think the bus probably could have stopped and waited down the street for them to park at the school and run, but they didn't stop. And so somebody who was in the choir had to follow the bus in their own car, all the way to another city. It was pretty funny. And so, of course, we're all at the back of the bus, just waving at our friend who gets to drive his own car.
Yeah.
That's a fun memory.
Yeah.
Remember school buses?
I never rode a school bus. The only time I was in school buses were for athletics, for, trips to play basketball and that kind of stuff. That was the only time I was in those. They seemed very uncomfortable and dangerous to me. What do I know? So,
What, school buses?
Yeah. Just
they are dangerous for
no
sure.
No seatbelts, lots of sharp edges, and
they try to pad those for the most part.
Sure.
I loved our school bus, but we lived in this insane neighborhood that had incredibly steep hills. I think I've actually taken you through that neighborhood before. It was a very steep hill, and whenever it was icy, it was a terrifying adventure to see if our school bus guy could get up the hill, and we would all be cheering him on, "Go, school bus driver, go!" and pile on the wheels just to give it more weight, as if that helped. It could have. We actually made it up many, many times. Alex says, I hate to admit it, I'm perpetually running late.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, you can work on that, right? We can all try to figure out different ways to help with our brain's way that it processes things.
Scudora says, my anxiety will not let me be late. I'm usually unreasonably early.
There is such a thing as too early. There really is. I know some people don't believe that, but that's why I like the 10 minutes thing. If you're going to an appointment and you're 20 minutes early, I don't know, man. It depends on what appointment.
What if it's even more than that? What if it's an hour early?
Then what are you even doing?
Aaron, that's rude.
Well, no, but why did you even make the appointment then in the first place? If you're going to be an hour early,
you guys get to see this part of Aaron. This is Aaron genuinely not understanding being early.
It's so inefficient. It is so inefficient.
If you can bring stuff to do, there's something about it though. And I was raised by a mom who was, anytime we left the house, not anytime. And mom, if you're watching, I'm going to be a little extreme here, okay? When we would leave the house and go somewhere, there was always this stress and anxiety about getting there on time. And so I now have stress and anxiety about getting to places on time. So to get someplace and just know that I'm there and I'm not letting anybody down. No one's going to be waiting on me. I can relax. So I think I kind of understand I've gotten better over the years about it, where I think I have this nice kind of, I don't know, there's a nice little equilibrium I found with not being too early, not being too late, not being too stressed, but it is uncomfortable. Archimedes also talking about stress. Okay, so I'm through with college classes and tests, and I still dream I'm late for those. Yeah. I'm a never late kind of guy. I'm terrified about being late, anxiety and all that. See? The thing, Aaron.
Doc
People
says,
be having some stress.
I was late to my only birth. LOL. Yeah, I don't think that was on you.
Does that mean the baby came early, or
that means
or
he
you
came
were
late.
you were the one born late to
Almost
your own birth?
100%. He's just saying he was born
Gotcha.
late. Got it.
I just carry on.
Lots of fun commentary on what the dishwasher guy is doing while we're doing the show.
Hey, check the living room. Okay.
All right, got to check all the rooms now.
We're gonna get a house tour via camera.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, there was a comment about how small your kitchen was, though.
It is. It's a small kitchen. We make it work.
Mm-hmm.
We don't mind. You do what you do, right?
Scott says, if I show up at the movie theater at showtime, I feel like I'm late, even though I know there will be 15 minutes of trailers first. I am aware Aaron doesn't watch trailers, but I do. Whoa, yeah, he's definitely not. He's not in there.
Nope. He's not in the theater room.
Wow. Sonic says, you're not going to have a TV.
Still there now.
Still there for now.
In fact, those cameras, that's really the ulterior motive of showing the cameras is like, if you come into my home, I will see you.
Do people need to sign like a consent form when they enter your home? Do you let people know that you are watching?
Yes. If somebody's staying with us, yes, absolutely 100%. We're like, here are the rooms that the cameras are in. Here are where the cameras are. I just think that's polite. I would want to know.
I would want to know.
Yeah.
I haven't done that for the outside cameras, but maybe I don't feel like I have
Post
to.
a sign. There are a lot of like little window decals, so like this house has surveillance, that kind of thing. But that's more of a security measure than kind of politeness.
I was really hoping to catch some dinosaurs on my outside cameras over the weekend, because our neighbor boys are dressing up like dinosaurs for Halloween, and they were out in the front yard playing. It was genuinely hilarious.
Yeah. It says something that it didn't matter to me whether you were talking about costumes or actual dinosaurs, that I was just taking it in stride, because it's something that Danae would say.
It's so true. Oh my gosh.
So,
Nick says, I'm the same with the movie theater stuff, only I do it to skip the trailers. You go to the AMC in Silicon Valley. Hey guys, listen. No, it's fine. You can chat, hang out.
That's great. No, I love that people are making friends in the comments and being like, "Hey, you're around where I live. Do you go to the same movie theater I do?" That's great. No, that's awesome.
I agree with Sonic Screwdriver, who says 30 minutes is a good time for being early. Sometimes you get into your appointment early. Okay, I do this on the regular. I'll actually call and say, "Hey, I'm running early," and sometimes I can just get into an appointment and get on with my day. I love doing that.
I think it does depend on the thing, right? Like when I go for my cardio appointments, I definitely go early because they're usually very busy.
Sonic Screwdriver.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Are you good? Text me. Tell me your life is great, even if it's not. I'm just kidding. Are you doing
Lie
well?
to me.
We're stopping the whole show. How are you? Screwdriver says, I totally bring stuff to do while waiting. Right? With a smartphone, you have so many things you can do that's either just playing and goofing off and having a break, or you can actually bring work with you in most cases. My mother brings crochet. She just like whips out some stuff. Oh my God. My mother is going to play Dungeons and Dragons with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's created this character. We've been working on this character background and all this stuff. And she's like, I feel like my character doesn't want to have, like, she doesn't like her hands to be still because she's kind of got this nervous tick thing. And she's like, so I think she's going to knit. So in the game, her character has this little pack she has where it's got this like string of material, and then she's just constantly like knitting when she's not doing anything. So It's going to come in play, and it's going to be really fun for the characters to just hear this odd clicking noise and think that they're going to get attacked by some creature, and it's just this lady knitting. It's going to be awesome. But the funny thing is she came to play D&D the other day. I was introducing her to the combat for the first time. She'd never actually rolled dice before and gotten into the character and all this stuff. So I kind of set up this little mini moment where we could just do a couple things and she could play the game for a little bit. And she whips out her crochet. So she's sitting down to play the game, and my mom is actually crocheting at the D&D table. Oh my God, it was wonderful.
JCD says, please film Mama Danae playing D&D. Scott says, roll to not slip a stitch.
She rolls like a natural one, and there's like, she has to undo a whole bunch of rows. Yeah, she's really, really excited about this character that she's created.
Wise22 says, I crochet whenever I'm waiting for stuff.
How did I know? How did I know
Caleb from the
that?
Real World says, what class/race is she playing? And
She's
a fellow
playing
D&Der.
a mountain dwarf barbarian with wild magic surge from UA. So whenever she rages, she has to roll a D8, and that'll tell us what crazy thing happens when she goes into a rage. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Danae is, I think, maybe halfway to convincing me to come play D&D for a night.
Yeah, we've talked about it a couple
of
times.
We've talked about it. So maybe we should make it like, we should video some of it for our Team DNA members. Just be like,
Stop it.
I don't know. Might be fun.
Well,
Might be fun.
I mean, I think that, so if you came into my game, I think my players would probably be okay with doing like a recording of it. But if you wanted to do something that was just like a one-off, something that's just fun to the side, absolutely, we could do it really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when you were joking around, you were like, I'm going to play a person that's like this. And my dad was this. And my mom was this.
I started making my own backstory. And then Danae was like, hold on. That's my job. That's my job. You don't get to make your own backstory.
You do, but it needs to fit into the world that I've created.
Yes. I am designing a world, Mr. Dicer. You cannot come into my world and make it your own.
I will help accommodate you as best I can, but no, your mom can't be a goddess.
D&D and DNA. We should do some D and DNA and D. Dungeons and Danae and Aaron and Dragons.
Right.
Or DNA and D&D. I don't know. Whatever.
There's actually a podcast. There's people who do a podcast show that you can listen to called D&D. I was really bummed about that because I was like, because I could do a show called D&D, but they've already got it. And they do a great show, by the way.
Skidorva wants to throw money at us. Take my money. This needs to happen. So yeah, maybe we will. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Maybe that'll be the next plateau.
I would like the next plateau to be a new mic mount. I know it sounds really boring.
That's give and get, right? Like that's the next plateau. The next plateau.
The plateau.
The next plateau. We will get a new mic mount for you, as well as give a video of some D&D and DNA.
I see.
Possibly. And somebody said, and I think they're right, instead of 40, it should be 41. Should be the next plateau.
Oh my God. Is the next plateau 41 and it's Dungeons and Dragons? Because that seems like an insane combo to me.
Yeah.
And also the pressure would be on because I would genuinely have to come to the table prepared. That's the other thing that's hard for me. You guys know I like to fly off the seat of my pants. And there is an element of D&D that you do need to be able to
fly by
the seat of pants. Not off.
Yeah.
I am wearing clothes. But you do have to be prepared too. I have to be prepared. Otherwise, there's so much structure that can miss from the story. So anyway.
Yeah. I think we're ready to move to the you question. We'd love to hear a topic or a question that you have for us to answer / discuss. Can really be anything. So just let us know what you want to hear from us, and we will talk
any
about
question
it.
goes. We don't have to answer any question, but any question goes.
Yeah, anything you want to know, let us know.
I'm loving all the D&D conversations. That's one thing that's been really fun for me is to talk about D&D and at first wonder if I'm way off base with my excitement for this game and then realize that so many people are enjoying it too. So that makes me feel really great. While we're waiting for some you questions to come in, Aaron, I wanted to let you know that I started watching the new Netflix movie Over the Moon. Have you watched it yet?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't, but I'm going to. Yes. Do you want to come on Sif Pop and talk about it?
Don't watch it.
I've heard it's good.
I made it 5 minutes in, started sobbing. It's terrible.
Okay. Yeah. So let me interpret what Danae's saying here. The movie is amazing. She just can't process her emotions very well.
No, in all truth, though, I started watching it and I was like, I am not prepared for this. I can't do this right now. And I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
So
that's self-care. That's totally understandable. That's,
thanks.
And maybe you'll come back to it. Maybe you won't, but
Maybe I
you have an
won't.
understanding of yourself. So, yeah.
Also, while we're waiting for a couple questions to come in, I also want to remind you guys we are going to take shirt submissions for Aaron for one day today. So today's the very last day to get your shirt submissions on. There's my email address. You can send them to Danae at dna.show. We are also going to try to go back into the fun feeds that we remember from people giving suggestions from like a month ago, but I can't guarantee we're going to find them all. So if you have a shirt suggestion that you want Aaron to wear for 5 shows, then you need to send it to me, Danae at dna.show, and then we're going to be going through the process of voting. So today's the last day.
Very nice. Very nice. We got some topics. We'll start with this one from Slab, taking a 13-hour road trip this weekend, and recommendations for an audiobook that you loved. I would recommend if you haven't read the Currents, the new Ables, the third book in the Ables, the audiobook for that just came out.
Did you listen to it yet?
So I'm in the midst. And enjoying it. So that is out there. Our buddy Jeremy writing those books. Any of them. If you haven't done them, go ahead and do the Ables, the first one. That's a good listen as well. A good read. Here's a question.
Yeah,
do you consider it reading or listening?
I just say yes. They're both
I think it's
right.
reading.
Because to me, I feel like I'm reading, but I'm also listening to a story. You know what? It's more like a podcast.
Sure.
It's a bookcast.
Sure. Yeah.
I have not listened to an audiobook in a while. So I don't remember the ones that I've listened to before. So my answer would be kind of lame. It would be like find a blog that talks about like the top ones. I wish my friend Ida was in the chat right now because she's an audiobook like lover. And she finds ones where the voice actor is really fun to listen to, where they like change their voice for different characters and that they're really easy to listen to. And I think that can make or break an audiobook. So I would try to find one, like that. So maybe like just do a little Google searching, or maybe even go to Reddit and see if you can find a Reddit thread that exists that talks about people who, do really good with that. Because I think if the person that you're listening to is interesting, you could almost listen to any book.
Yeah, that's true. You picking the next question, or you want me to? Usually we go back and forth. So.
Do we usually go back and forth?
Maybe not. Maybe that's just my organized brain thinking that that's something that we've done. We've never said it, so
I've never noticed, but maybe we have done that.
There's plenty more. Archimedes Amazonas, for taking quick notes, are you a phone app person or an actual notebook person? I think I think Danae showed you like notes that she is a Post-it note person. Danae takes quick notes on Post-it notes.
I love Post-it notes. I even I have like a whole explosion process for notes, and then I have a reaping. But I have Post-it notes everywhere, and it helps me to know that if I remember something in the moment, I write it down quickly, I stick it up, and then I keep going with whatever I'm doing, and then I can revisit later and remember that I have to go to the store for something very specific. But if I'm on my phone, I have a note. So I just literally just
the best of both worlds.
Writing
the best of both worlds.
My stuff down on my note, and I love that a lot.
I'm definitely an app/computer person. I have a Google Doc where I keep all my to-do list, all my notes, and anytime I have anything I need to jot down, I will jot it in there, and then I will occasionally go back through and delete stuff that is no longer relevant. So yeah, I definitely use that. I've thought about using like Google Keep or something like that, because I think then I could even just, because we've got devices all around, I could say, hey, make a note for me about this, and it would automatically be somewhere. That might be even a little more efficient. So I've considered doing that, but it's all about efficiency for me. The best way that works with kind of how I see things and work with things.
I'll just answer a quick D&D question from Alex. Danae, what D&D class and race has been your favorite to play? I'm currently playing a Dragonborn Artificer, and I'm having a blast. That's exciting. So my very first D&D character was just a halfling rogue, straight up, but it was before 5e. And my first character since starting to play again in the 5e format, the dungeon master, the DM, let us do like this crazy combination from all different sources. So we kind of had carte blanche to do whatever we wanted. And I'm really having fun with her. She is an Eladrin cleric of the Solidarity domain. So just it's kind of this weird combination. And playing the Eladrin, he let me do where when I do like a little teleport, the Fey step teleportation, that I get to have one of the 4 reactions based on whatever climate she's aligned to. So if it's like winter, summer, spring, or autumn, there's different things she gets to do. And that's really, really fun. And the Solidarity domain is really fun too. If you've not looked into that one before, it's kind of a combination of healing and fighting. So she gets to wield a sword and heal people. And her name is Noko. Okay.
Nick says, we got our pumpkins from the patch. Do you carve yours? What do you carve? We try to theme ours to our costumes each year.
Oh, that's cool. What a great idea.
Yeah. We haven't done pumpkins in a while, so I'll let Danae take this one.
We went to a pumpkin patch, cut them off the vine, and came back home. Iris is really concerned about pumpkins. She thinks that they're scary when you carve into them. And so if we're going to carve into them this year, which I don't think we are, since it's kind of just sloppy and dirty and messy, and we don't really have the mental capacity for that right now, I think we would do just shapes, like stars and moons and things like that, rather than doing like a jack-o'-lantern style. But my husband specifically was like, I just like the look of pumpkins. So we have them as decorations on our porch right now. We've got 3 compared to our neighbors, like 50. I'm kidding. They have more like 20. It's pretty impressive. But I really want to paint them. So I'm thinking about going and grabbing just a couple little ones where Iris and I can just get those paint pens, and then just like draw some fun stuff on them. So she might really enjoy that. She has her favorite pumpkin that she sleeps with at night right now. She picked the pumpkin out of the pumpkin patch and she carries it around like it's her doll or something. It's really cute.
Nice. A couple related questions. One from JCD that says, on Danae's thread, what's something in a movie that makes you just stop watching?
Oh.
And Caleb says, what's a piece of media that was good but you can't go back to because it's too emotionally taxing? So kind of on that same thread of it's a little bit too much, but you can answer either one, both, whatever you want to. I can answer the second one.
Okay.
Which is, I have never gone back to The Passion of the Christ. I don't know if it's because it's too emotionally taxing, but it's definitely one that I just have never found myself in the mindset of sitting through that again. So that would be my answer to the second one.
Yeah. Those are hard questions for me specifically, since I try to forget stuff that I don't like.
Sure.
It's probably not healthy, but that's what I do. There's a couple movies that I think I was shown that, you're supposed to see that I didn't know what they were. American History X. I can't watch that. I was shown that movie and there's just no way I can go back into that world. I understand that there's some important conversations to have there,
sure,
and that there's a story there, but that's really, really hard for me. And that kind of goes along, I think, with the first question, which is something that makes you stop watching. Violence is really hard for me to watch, even boxing. I don't like hurting each other, even in movies and stuff. Like war movies, things like that. It's just really hard. And I get it. I live a privileged life where I get to be inside the bubble where I don't have to think about fighting and I don't have to think about war. And I think that there are people who watch stuff like that because they can kind of handle it. Maybe they're curious about it and it's like it's expression for them. But for me, this is really, really hard to go back in there. And then also there's a movie called Dancer in the Dark. That one's really hard for me because as much as I love the music of it, there's also this just horrible violent thing that's happening at the same time. And they kind of cancel each other out for a little while and it just tips over for me. And I can't watch that one. So, but the light answer is when I start to feel emotions and cry, I sometimes have to just stop and go, do I want to like let myself go to some places right now? Or do I just need to kind of stop? So thankfully, most of the time that happens in my own home. I think I have walked out of a couple movie theaters before though. I just, right now, I can't remember which ones they were.
If I remember correctly, we saw Inside Out together in the theater, and you were sobbing through a lot of the end of that. But you didn't walk out.
What's really
And
funny about that movie is that the entire time I'm crying, I'm trying to put my sadness into the circle that she's supposed to be out of in the movie. And I'm like, you stay in there and you don't come out. Like I'm doing exactly what the movie is saying not to
right,
do. And
right.
so it was such a weird experience.
Yeah, there's like a built-in irony of you like
Yeah.
trying to shut your emotions
Like,
down from a movie that's like your
kill it
emotions
all.
are part of your life and that sadness is an important thing in your life.
Like
And
they're all at the
yeah.
console just like banging around. I'm like, kill it, kill the console. But it was a beautiful movie. But yeah, I was not expecting to have such a strong reaction to that one.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Elizabeth says, when do you start to put up your Christmas decorations? My manager already put her decorations up. Usually the weekend after Thanksgiving for us.
Hmm. Yep,
So
same. Although since we pretty much are at home all the time, we don't even remember when the weekends are anymore. So it could just be happening ASAP. But we just decided we are gonna pull them all up and get ready for that. So we're actually kind of excited to decorate this year. I think we're just gonna skip over Thanksgiving and just go straight to Christmas. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
I do not like in the past I've not really enjoyed decorating and traditions and stuff. But as time has gone on, I've gotten more excited about it. And I think having Iris has been a good reason to start to be like, yeah, let's get the tree up and get excited to do some things together. So I'm looking forward to Christmas this year.
Lolly says, I'm one of those weirdos that likes movies to make me cry. There's catharsis in having a good cry over something you can detach from. Yeah, that's me. I love crying at movies. I love experiencing the emotion that the movie wants me to experience. I think it's valuable for my growth as a human. It's valuable for me to explore how things do impact me and why they do. I do have that whole thing where I like to overanalyze things. And so I'm kind of that strange creature that both loves the emotional side of my world, but also wants to, you know, dig into it and be analytical about it and those kind of things. So it's kind of been a weird combination for my life, but I enjoy it. I like it. I like being the kind of person that's emotionally aware and also emotionally engaged. So yeah, I'm with you, Lolly.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of learning that, but it's weird. It's just
We all have
emotions
been
are
through different
strange.
stuff, right? Like we've all been
Hmm.
through different stuff, some of which creates a world where it's survival to squish emotions. It's important for our own mental health to be able to compartmentalize things and not be able to experience them. I am privileged enough that I have lived in an environment for all of my life where it's not dangerous for me to experience my emotions. And danger may be too extreme a word, but it's not overly painful for me to go through emotional things. I don't have to hide that from anybody. Nobody was ever telling me, stop crying, be a man. Like nobody in my life ever
I
told me
got told
that.
that, except for the man part. Um,
So yeah.
One of the questions in the chat was about did you get my shirt submission? So I just wanted to share the screen and show one of the shirt options that I'm
Oh, sure.
personally
Yeah.
very excited for.
Yeah, we can finish off with this.
Here we are.
Nice.
This is one of the shirt submissions that we're going to be considering.
If you're a member of Team DNA, you will get to pick the ones for the eventual poll. We will pick 4 possible shirts for the final Twitter poll. And as members of Team DNA, you will narrow down to those 4. So
There's
we
going to
should
be a
have that
public
to you
vote
this
too, though,
week.
right?
The public vote is for the final 4. Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
a Twitter poll for the final 4 where you'll get to pick the shirt for me to wear. And then there's the process of purchasing it, getting it. But, it should be by within the next month or so. So there you go. Yeah, if you want to submit your own, Danae at dna.show.
I'll put that up on the screen for you guys.
Is the way to do that. We appreciate all our Team DNA members. Thank you so much for keeping this show going. We are doing this every Monday and someday, which means that we will be for sure here on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Central. And then some other weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Central, if it happens to work out for us. So we look forward to seeing you then. And if you want to be a part of it, all you got to do is pick where you want to watch it. It's available pretty much at all the major streaming platforms. And then subscribe, get alerts, whatever will help you know when we go live. So yeah. And by the way, if you're at my Twitch just got approved as a affiliate of Twitch.
Whoa.
So you can now subscribe and I think throw bits if that's a thing on Twitch. I've heard people
Man, I still
toss
cannot figure
bits.
out my Twitch. You need to help
Yeah.
me. Help me, Aaron.
What if we just combined Undermine? What if we did that? I will help you.
Let me explain why I just rolled my eyes so hard. It's because we've had this conversation before. Now, no.
Let's figure it out for you then.
Help me.
Let's
Me. Because I've been trying to figure this Twitch stuff out. It's not complicated for some people, but for whatever reason,
No, it's complicated for me
that platform is very confusing for me. And I can't figure out, like, I think the videos don't replay later. Like, our show doesn't stay on that one, so no one can
on
see
yours.
it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
We will figure it out.
Thank you, Aaron.
I think it is a good opportunity
Aaron.
because you have your own Twitch for not just this, but other things you want to pop on and do live. And I'm the same way. So yeah.
Like, for example, I've already gone on a couple of times where I'm drawing my D&D maps and stuff, and I'm kind of trying to figure out stuff. I just turn it on and I'm trying to test my system and see am I streaming correctly. It's been awful. Horrible for those of you who joined. Thank you, but it was awful. Like, it was choppy and messed up, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing. So it's tragic at this moment, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So anyhow, wherever you want to subscribe, wherever you want to follow, just make sure you have alerts on so you know when we go live. So we are live on Mondays and some days. We'll see you on the next Monday or someday.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.